Back on the show is the BFL bantamweight champion Cole Smith, who's going to be defending his title November 18th at BFL 52 against Tyler Dolby. Cole, how are you today? How's it going?
Good, man. Good. Good as always.
Awesome.
Always good to be on the show.
Hey, well, it's always good to talk to you. Of course, the last time you and I talked, you weren't the champ. You had won the title, and you defeated Jamie Siraj, which was an incredible win. And it's been a while since we've seen you in Canada. Of course, you went down to Thailand. You trained over there. You took a fight over there. How was that whole experience getting to go back to Thailand and everything?
Yeah, that was a good experience, man. Actually, I was supposed to fight on the beach down in Khao Lak, like right on the ocean, right on the beach. The cage was set up on the beach. So it was kind of like that Bodog, Costa Rica
That's
feel,
right.
And I was like,
that.
super stoked with that. I thought it was going to be such a good experience. And then I'm flying down, and on the way down, there's like a tropical storm or some crap, and it was pouring rain, and they had to move the cage to inside some dumpy little Muay Thai arena. It was still a good experience, but it wasn't quite as good as I was hoping it to be. But
I was going to say, is there any plans to go back to Thailand in the future? Because it seemed like you had a really good time out there.
Yeah, I'm going back for sure. I always go back. I like to spend my time between here and there. Right now, I'm back training with my team, hanging out with my girlfriend and all that kind of stuff. But we're planning on going back maybe in June or July or something, and I'll probably stay out there for another couple months and see how it goes. But yeah, definitely.
I was going to say, and you referenced that fight. Of course, you get the first round TKO in your last fight. Were you happy with your performance in that one? I mean, you're not getting paid by the hour, so getting out a quick finish there is pretty good.
Winning in a minute and 20 or whatever it was is pretty good, Training hard for a month and a half, and then you go out there and fight for a minute and 20 seconds. It's, pretty easy to be happy with that performance, so. Yeah, it definitely was.
And I mentioned off the top, you are the BFL champion, but I know it's been difficult getting opponents. How has this process been as far as finding an opponent, and how happy were you when you finally got one in Tyler Dolby?
Yeah, winning the belt was kind of a shitty situation for me, actually, because I won it at 2-0. So it's kind of tough for the promoters to justify giving guys title shots, if they're only 2-0, 3-0 or whatever. So it was kind of tough for me to find guys to fight. Whereas if I didn't have the belt, I could have been fighting anybody, guys at 1-1, 2-1, 2-0, 3-0 or whatever, So it was kind of tough to find an opponent. I'm happy Tyler Dolby stepped up. I know it's going to be kind of tough for him. It's his first fight down to 35. So we'll see how the weight cut goes for him. Hopefully we'll be in the cage together.
Yeah, was that name surprising when you heard that, just with the fact that he has fought at lightweight, I believe, is where he's normally fought?
I thought, was it at weight? I thought he usually fought at 45. Maybe
45, could be 45. Yeah, either way, yeah. It's, he's not known as a bantamweight fighter. So, when you hear that name, is that a little bit surprising for you?
It doesn't really matter to me. If you can make 135, you're in my weight class, you know what I mean? So we'll see if he can make it. Cutting to 35 for the first time sucks. Like, it sucks. If you've never done it before, those extra couple pounds, man, they suck. And that starts to play a big role into the third, fourth, fifth round of a championship fight. He's got a lot of muscle on him, So cutting a bunch of that weight, that's going to suck for him.
Well, in some ways, are you a little bit more confident this fight's going to actually go out without a hitch because of the whole 8% rule? Like, I know he had to send his weight, to the promotion a little while back just because you can't go over that threshold, right? So, he has to be within a good range to cut the weight.
Yeah. To me, I don't really care. I'm a big 135er. I'm a giant 135er. So, I don't really mind, but I like what they're doing. I like how they're trying to make it a little bit safer for the fighters. I like how they're trying to ruin the incentive of cutting so much weight because you can only put so much weight back on. You know what I mean? So, we're taking the right steps in the sport. So I'm all for it.
How do you feel like you match up against Tyler?
I feel like I match up good against anybody. I don't think it really matters who they are. You know what I mean? Right. I like Conor McGregor says, you only have one opponent. You know what I mean? You're in there against yourself. If I'm performing at my best, it doesn't really matter who I'm fighting, so it doesn't. Yeah, it's all good. I match up with everyone.
And I was going to say, you mentioned being back home. Who are some of the main training partners you've been working with ahead of this title defense?
As always, I got my brother Casey Smith. My main coach. He does everything for me. But it's nice. I kind of changed it up a little bit. I've been out at Revolution training with Jeremy Kennedy. 3-0 in the UFC. Bibiano Fernandez, top 5 guy in the whole world at bantamweight. Tristan Connolly, Achilles Estremadura, Radley De Silva. I got a long line of killer fighters who I've been training with. So confident for me.
I was going to say that's nice to get that cross training, and especially with having the luxury of having those training partners in the Lower Mainland, in Jeremy Kennedy and Bibiano and those guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. I watched Bibiano win the Dream Featherweight Grand Prix. I remember I stayed up till about 5 a.m. and he happened to be the guy who won it. And then I found out he was just living down the road from me, in Langley. And then finally I'm training with him and it feels good. My confidence is high because of that.
How's the weight cut going? We're a couple weeks up from the fight.
Weight cut's great, man. I'm professional, so the weight cut is no problem for me. I'll make 35, no problem. I'm a big 35er, but I make it no problem. So,
do you have a list of like cheat meals that you're gonna have after the fight? Like, are you that guy, or are you just trying to eat healthy year round?
Yeah, I got a long list of stuff I'm gonna be eating after the food. After the fight, usually I go straight to Wendy's and get a couple of junior bacons.
Oh, I figured you'd be like a Lower Mainlander and go to like White Spot and get like a legendary burger or something.
Like that. Man, White Spot. Maybe that's for Sunday. Saturday night is Wendy's.
Yeah, there you go.
Stay out White Spot.
Yeah, because White Spots close at like I think it's like midnight or 11:30 or something. So you don't get that luxury of being able to go later, right?
Get bottomless fries there. Nobody knows that, but you can keep ordering fries over and over for free. Yeah. You can get free fries and free Coke. So as soon as you order a drink, what I like to do is I'll get a plate of fries before my meal comes. So I have something to snack on, then I get my meal. That's when I'm not in fight camp or anything.
Wow, I gotta take that strategy next time I go to White Spot. That's good.
That's a good one.
How do you see this fight ending on November 18th? I mean, you're gonna win. You wouldn't take the fight otherwise, but how do you sort of see it unfolding?
Like I was saying, the weight cut's gonna be tough on him. He's gonna be shooting. I know he likes to shoot. He wants to be on top. Everyone says they want to stand with me, but they'll stand with me for about 5 minutes and they'll see the shit that I'm throwing at them. So they'll start shooting pretty quick. So I can see him shooting, but it's going to be tough for him and he's going to start getting tired in the third, the fourth, the fifth. And that's when I'm going to start picking him apart.
Do you have anything lined up after this fight? I know you want to stay active and, keep busy. Is there anything in the works at this point that you can mention?
One thing at a time, I'm going to take this fight. I'm going to coast into December to start the new year. I think Jeremy Kennedy's will be having a fight in the UFC again pretty soon, so I'm planning on going out to Vegas with him.
Oh, the super camp. Yeah, he told me about that. He was getting all the guys together. I didn't know you were part of that. That's great.
Yeah, I was. I was supposed to be a part of it, but then he injured himself, and I was going to go out there for this camp. It would have been great, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, no, that camp was supposed to have like Daniel Swain, TJ Laramie as well. Like it was like a really like a super camp, and you guys were going to like rent a house or something. Because I remember I talked to him about that.
Yeah, Jeremy's a super smart kid. He doesn't do anything half-assed. So if he's going to do something like that, he's going to plan it out properly. He's going to get the best training partners that he can get, and that's what he was doing. It's unfortunate. The way everything went, but it is what it is,
For sure. What are you watching on Netflix or TV right now? You got to. I know you're a busy guy. I know you're training a lot, but tell me you're getting some TV time in just a little bit.
I mean, I hear about all these shows and stuff, but I just can't get into any of the shows. I watch the same stupid show over and over again. I'll watch The Office or Seinfeld. I just watch stupid little shows that I can watch. I can't really sit there for 45 minutes to an hour, but my brother's trying to get me onto Stranger Things. So
yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. I haven't gotten through it yet. I'm slowly getting through it, but Seinfeld, we got it here on whatever the app we use, and I'll watch that any day of the week. I love Seinfeld.
Yeah, every day, right? I was gonna wear my George Costanza shirt today for the interview, and I didn't. I rocked it yesterday.
How disappointing! I would have loved that.
Man, okay. Next time we do an interview, I promise I'm gonna have my George Costanza shirt. It's the one with him. Timeless Art of Seduction, when he's photographed.
The painting, yeah.
Kramer.
Or the photo.
The photo, yeah. The photo. Yeah, that's my shirt. So I should have rocked it today, but.
Do you have a favorite Seinfeld episode? Because I have one, and I want to hear yours. I always ask fellow Seinfeld fans that.
And a favorite Seinfeld episode, it's so hard to say. It's kind of unfair. Every episode is good to me, I mean, the Soup Nazi's good, but that's basic. Yeah, that's everyone's favorite,
Okay, I'll give you mine. It's a bit of an underrated episode, but if you watch it, it's just the hilarity of it's great. The car dealership, where George has the issue with the Twix candy bar. Do you remember this?
Yeah. The candy lineup, man.
Exactly.
Of course, I know everything word for word, man. The candy lineup, the candy bar lineup. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Man Hands. Man Hands is a good one, too.
Yes. Don't you just love Lobster Jerry? And then she's like breaking it apart.
Yeah. And he's like, you have something on your face. And then she goes to wipe the thing off. And he's like, oh, it's a eyelash. Make a wish. and he blows and he opens his eyes.
Not
didn't
true.
come true.
Yeah, it didn't come true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're speaking my language, man. That's awesome. Everyone's got to check out this fight. It's BFL 52 coming up here November 18th. Cole, always a pleasure talking to you, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and by all means, plug those sponsors and everything else. The floor is yours.
I mean, you can just follow me on Instagram. I don't really do the Twitter thing or anything like that, and I kind of like to choose who's on my Facebook. So the Cole Train 01, I got a lot of sweet shit on there. As for my sponsors, I got a lot of sponsors to shout out. What's up? Pokemon doing sweet shit. That's another one of my Instagram. Check that out. But Reflex Squamish, they just started sponsoring me. They're great up here. Sky High Life, Dr. Amber, my chiropractor, does tons of work on me. Jared Burr, my massage therapist, the guy's the best guy around town. All the gyms, the sound, Revolution now, Check Matt. Yeah, it's gonna be a long list, so I should just shut